You're watching KLTX, Channel 15, serving the City of Lufkin.
Today on City Hall Update. School bells will soon be ringing as students say goodbye to the summer and head back to the classroom. We'll talk with local school teachers about what students can look forward to this school year. Area nonprofit organizations are wrapping up a host of summer programs. We'll highlight some of those activities that have made for a busy summer. And Angelina College enhances its workforce technology program thanks to a generous donation from a local industry. Hi everyone, I'm Yana Ogletree and welcome to this edition of City Hall Update. Just in time for back to school shopping, the state has announced its sales tax holiday for August 10th through the 12th. That means most clothing, footwear, school supplies, and backpacks will be exempt from sales and use tax, which could save shoppers more than $8 for every $100 spent. But before you grab that designer backpack you've always wanted, you need to be aware of the fine print. Generally, single items like a pair of shoes or a backpack that cost more than $100 will not qualify for the exemption. But the total amount you spend on qualifying items will be exempt. Also, if the store offers it, you can put items on layaway during the sales tax weekend and still get the tax break. For complete information on the August sales tax holiday, we put a link on the City of Lufkin's Facebook page. Just search for City of Lufkin City Hall on Facebook. As part of the Southern White Rhinoceros Species Survival Plan, or SSP, Stormy, the male rhinoceros owned by the Ellen Trout Zoo, was sent to the North Carolina Zoo on breeding loan June 17th of 2014. At the North Carolina Zoo, he was housed with 4 females, and after 4 years there, Stormy has fathered the first Southern White Rhinoceros calf born at that facility in 41 years. Their female, Linda, gave birth to the female calf in July. The Ellen Trout Zoo is involved in the conservation of the southern white rhinoceros by participating in the SSP and by partnering with San Diego Zoo Global in artificial insemination projects. Both of Ellen Trout Zoo's male rhinos, Juana, which lives here at the zoo, and Stormy up in North Carolina, will have specimens collected by the team from San Diego Zoo Global. The terms of the breeding loan programs establish the ownership of the offspring. In this case, the North Carolina Zoo will own the first, third, fifth, and so on, and the Ellen Trout Zoo will own the second, fourth, sixth, and so forth. As this is the first calf produced by Stormy in this partnership, North Carolina Zoo will keep it. It is important to note that this birth now increases the population of these endangered species. There are high hopes that the white rhinoceros population will be further increased by the pair of rhinos here at the Ellen Trout Zoo, that Stormy will continue to produce calves in North Carolina, and that our partnership with San Diego Zoo Global will produce even more calves. All of these efforts will help ensure the survival of these magnificent animals. Meanwhile, the clouded leopard cubs that were born at the Ellen Trout Zoo earlier this year have made their public debut. Jai and Ravria put on a show for zoo patrons. The cute and feisty cubs could be seen playing and checking out their new daytime habitat along with their keepers. Even though the cubs have been introduced to the public, they won't be on display every day. Since they are still young, they will spend a significant amount of time behind the scenes. Now, the best way to know when Jai and Jarava will be on display is to keep an eye on the Ellen Trout Zoo's Facebook page.
Oh yes, I've heard of the zoo before, so I definitely will be coming back within a year and seeing them, turn into young adults. Bye. Thank you.
Members of the Lufkin Art Guild recently crossed the Angelina River to attend the 12 by 12 art show in downtown Nacogdoches. The annual fundraiser put on by the SFA Friends of the Visual Arts features local artists who donate a work of art on a 12-inch by 12-inch wooden panel for the show. The Cole Arts Center hosts the artwork for about 2 weeks, and the community bids on the pieces in a silent auction. The day of the show, raffle tickets are sold for pieces that did not receive bids, with all funds raised benefiting the art program at SFA. Now, if you're interested in expressing your own artistic flair, connect with the Friends of Lufkin Art Guild on their Facebook page. The Museum of East Texas is also encouraging young artists to get in touch with their creative side as it presents Art Camp 2018. Children from 3 years of age and up are invited to spend the week at the museum to learn about a wide variety of media, including watercolors, drawings, photography, and clay. For the youngest artists, there are also foundational classes to introduce them to the world of art. Each session of Art Camp is 3 hours each day, Monday through Friday. Registration includes all supplies and materials, plus 1 t-shirt per camper. The Museum of East Texas also offers many scholarships, so no matter your financial situation, every child can attend Art Camp. This year's Art Camp closing reception is August 26th from 2 to 4 p.m. Everyone is encouraged to visit and view the Art Camp exhibits at the end of the month, which will feature artwork from every student who participated in Art Camp. For more information on how you can get your child involved, please call 936-639-4434 or email epayne@metlufkin.org. And Chelan County students will be stepping out in style as they head back to the classroom this fall. For the last couple of weeks, Georgia Pacific employees in Diabol have been collecting new shoes for children in need. It was all part of the Buckner Children and Family Services annual shoe drive. More than 50 pairs of shoes, from athletic sneakers and walking shoes to tennis shoes adorned with glitter and bows and a multitude of sizes, were purchased by GP employees and donated to the nonprofit organization. The shoes will be distributed to children during the Angelina County Junior League's annual Back to School Bonanza on August 11th. In addition to shoes for kids, Georgia Pacific is helping college students right here in Lufkin. Angelina College recently received a $10,000 donation from the GP Charitable Foundation. Georgia Pacific's Human Resources Director Jim Cumby recently presented the donation to Angelina College President Michael Simon.
Well, we couldn't be more pleased to accept this gift from Georgia Pacific. This grant will allow us to invest in equipment and training in our tech workforce division, and it's very important to keep current with the equipment and the training that our workforce partners need, our employers, so that when our students graduate, they're ready to go to work and to add value to those companies on day one. So this will allow us to buy some equipment that's very necessary, but also to send one of our faculty members to some training that will allow them to bring that knowledge back to the classroom and work with our students.
Angelina College is a tremendous community college, and Georgia Pacific is partnering with Angelina College in order to do our part and help to grow students and prepare these students for work that we have in our facilities here in Ixtas.
Well, the Tech Workforce Program is a big division, actually, of the college. So we do everything from welding, machine tool technology, which is working with metal lathes and that sort of thing. We do fluid power, heating, ventilation, air conditioning, and refrigeration, which we've also upgraded to a commercial application now. We also do drafting, 3D printing, some computer science work. So lots and lots of different ways that, that students can receive an education that allows them to go directly into the workforce and start earning a really good living. It's a great day to be a Roadrunner.
The funds will be used to enhance Angelina College's workforce programs. Specific purchases include the following: safety fencing for the new industrial multi-axis articulated robotics system in the electromechanical technology program, 12 student workbenches for the expanded shop area in the diesel technology program, 5 document camera projectors for the use in the electromechanical technology and HVAC program classrooms, a vertical conveyor system components for use in constructing a material handling system to be wired and controlled by students in the electromechanical technology program. The funds will also send one instructor to Manufacturing Skills Standards Council certified production instructor training to offer the same, the MSSC CPT certification training in Sabine County to high school juniors and seniors. Tickets are on sale now for the Lufkin Bistro event scheduled for October 6th in downtown Lufkin. Guests 21 years or older are invited to attend a night of wine tasting and dining under the stars. The event features wines from across the United States and around the world. Plus, local chefs showcase their culinary skills and offer their tastiest cuisines. Tickets will be available until sold out, so make sure you get yours early. The Boys and Girls Club of Lufkin will host its annual Black Tie Bingo event, Timeless in Texas, August the 25th at the Pitzer Garrison Convention Center. According to Boys and Girls Club of DP's Texas President and CEO Steve Davidson, the event makes it possible for the nonprofit organization to offer a wide variety of after-school and summer programs for hundreds of East Texas children. Program highlights include homework assistance, physical activity, nutritious snacks, and most of all, a positive and safe place for kids. The Lufkin Club, headed by Jeremiah Campbell, has experienced an increase in club membership, which has prompted the organization to offer additional programs. Now, if you'd like to support the Boys and Girls Club and attend Black Tie Bingo, please contact 936-560-6844 or email special events at bgcdet.org for more information. It's hard to believe that it has already been a half century since one of the most volatile years in recent history. Now, the year was 1968. Czechoslovakia was occupied by Soviet armed forces. North Korea captured the USS Pueblo and her crew. The Tet Offensive caught U.S. forces in Vietnam by surprise, which changed public opinion about the war and led to political strife in the primaries. Martin Luther King Jr. and Robert Kennedy were assassinated. Student protest and general unrest were worldwide. The Chicago Democratic Convention turned violent as protesters clashed with police. 2 U.S. Olympic athletes made a salute to the Black Panther movement during the Star-Spangled Banner to protest discrimination. And for the first time in history, men from Earth orbited the moon aboard the Apollo 8 spacecraft. And in Lufkin, Texas, Angelina College opened its doors, a project that was years in the making by the Angelina County Chamber of Commerce. Angelina College held its first semester of classes in the fall of 1968. Now celebrating 50 years, Angelina College enrolls more than 5,000 students each semester on a sprawling campus with more than 20 buildings. That compares to its very first day of class when the college welcomed 650 students. In addition to academics, Angelina College has grown to include several athletic programs, a center for performing arts, and a diverse offering of workforce development programs. If you are interested in being one of the thousands of students who have benefited from Angelina College, you can begin the registration process for fall classes by visiting angelina.edu. And speaking of Angelina College, the Angelina Arts Alliance, located on the AC campus, has unveiled its 2018-19 performances, and season tickets are now available to the general public. That means you can now go online, call, or visit the Arts Alliance Ticket Center to purchase tickets to all the upcoming performances. The season kicks off with Travis Tritt on September 7th. And if you are interested in volunteering this season, you are invited to a volunteer orientation August the 14th from 6 to 8 p.m. at the center. For more information or to RSVP, call Ginger Trotter at 936-633-3220. I'd like to welcome Lynn Torres. She is the newly appointed superintendent for Lufkin ISD. Last time she was on the show, we've had you on many times.
Right.
Talked about city council business. We've talked about the bond issue with Lufkin ISD, and now here we are talking to you about your new role.
Right.
And school is kicking off this month. Are you ready?
We are ready. Actually have the best job ever. I can just tell you that.
You've had great jobs.
I've had great jobs, all with Lufkin ISD, but this one's the best ever. We actually kick it off this week. Our teachers come back for 2 days of in-service on Wednesday and Thursday at Lufkin High School, so all 700 of them will be there learning for 2 days and earning comp time. So that gets them in the mood to come back to school. And we've been registering students all week, and we'll continue this week, I'm sure, to do that. So we're ready. We want to see those faces.
So I'm going to ask you this, and I don't know if you know it off the top of your head. What is the enrollment?
The enrollment is around 8,200, and again, we look to see on the first day if they're there. The things that fluctuate is whether or not your 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds come. That's the only unknown, but we've been planning for them since April and May, so we pretty well secure in what our enrollment numbers are, but that's the area that can fluctuate, those 3-year-olds.
And of course, you all will kick off with a convocation again.
We will have convocation again on
August.
I keep making it April, August the 14th, and the students come back on August the 15th. So we're excited about that. We have a great speaker who's coming to us from South Carolina. He is a teacher, and he's been on the Ellen Show. Comes from a very high poverty district, and he's going to share some ideas and some just motivational type things of dealing with students, how important it is to form those relationships.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
so you see, the summer just seems like it flies by. I bet it really did for you.
It really did.
Going into a new role. But, the students you see the stores are getting busier, and I know yesterday at church there was a backpack giveaway, and so the excitement is starting to build up. And I guess with your staff, they're getting their classrooms ready, and the big day.
They know their floors are clean and they can finally get back into the rooms or whatever. Teachers, they're waiting to leave in May, but long about the end of June, they go, are the floors done? Can I come in?
Yeah.
Can I work on
They're
my room?
Antsy, huh?
And they want to be there, and they want to have everything ready for students.
So with all that said, what challenges are you looking toward this year?
Well, our major challenge, thank you voters of Lufkin ISD and in the area, we do have to accomplish the first steps of the bond issue. And so we have selected our architect firm. Last week we went out for proposals for construction manager at risk on 3 projects, and those are due on August the 10th to be opened, and then we'll select a construction manager. We bid out 3 different projects. We did the middle school, we did the multi-purpose facility at the high school, and the baseball and softball complex or whatever. So a potential construction manager at risk could bid on 1, 2, or all 3 of those projects, and then we'll go to committee and select who that will be. And then truly we'll be kicking off the building season, the planning.
That will be this year?
That will be this year. That will be this fall. We'll spend a lot of time with teacher groups, community groups, the architect, the construction manager, trying to plan for what that is, in the hopes that come January we're actually breaking ground on 1, 2, or all 3 of those projects. So that's exciting. We're trying to make visits to other middle schools in the state just to see. I don't know about you, I can't really look at a plan to see what that entryway is going to be like, or how the classroom's designed. And there are some shining examples out there in the state that people talk about, new and innovative, that we'd like to go and see.
Well, that's exciting.
And so hopefully the board will make some of those trips, and so will the administration, so we can just see and start to plan with the teachers about what that's going to look like. When we were doing the bond, we talked about the middle school is 63 years old, and I was as old as the middle school. We want this new middle school to last at least 63 years into the future, and planning for that is a challenge, making sure that we design a space that would be complementary to looking toward the future. So that's exciting.
And I think another big challenge would be how you're going to place these students when you do start the construction.
That's exactly right. So choosing the construction manager at risk for the middle school will be key, because they've got to phase the construction in. They're going to start with building buildings where no buildings currently exist, and then you can move into them. And then the next phase, there is a section of phase 2 where there aren't many students there. There's a lot of storage areas and so forth in the back of the campus. That'll come down next, with the third phase being the most involved. So planning for that and really having someone on board who has done that before is an important task when we select that construction manager.
And so how are you, I mean, looking toward the future when all this starts taking shape, do you foresee any challenges of your staff? I mean, because you know, it's going to get frustrating.
It is.
It's going to get frustrating. You're going to have to, say, we're going to get past this growing pain, and then it's going to be great.
That's exactly right. It's going to get messy before it gets great. And so we need to plan for that, and we need to know, and we need to have a little bit of patience. But taking all of that into account, I really think we can plan and insulate, maybe so the students don't see. Now, when the parents drive up, yes, there's going to be a construction truck or a cement mixer, or the road that you went down one day is now blocked for the next 3 weeks or so forth. But we'll be doing communications with the parents and keeping them in the loop or whatever, just so that they know the changes. But it's all progress, and so if we can make it through that, then I think the end result will be more than worth it. So
absolutely. They just have to keep their eye on the end result, and then everything will be
That's
great.
exactly right. Exactly right.
So before we wrap it up, when you think of August, you think of September, you think of the kickoff for football, right?
Right.
And so that's getting ready to happen.
It is.
And did I hear that Lufkin is supposed to be ranked pretty high this year?
We're supposed to be ranked pretty high, like number 1.
That's pretty high.
So that's pretty high. And, you know, if you talk to the coaches in the world, they'd rather be off the radar and not ranked at all, because the attention that brings is both a blessing and a curse, because you have a lot to live up to. And then adding to the mix or whatever, after we have our scrimmage with Huntsville starting out, our first game is on the road with Longview. You know the tensions will be high there, and it's the Fox Southwest Sports Game of the Week. So it will be on television, and everything that comes with the hype of that, as if we're not already well into that emotional game with Longview. It just adds to it. So that's an exciting thing.
It'll be lots of fun, and then of course if you can't make it to Longview, then you can watch it on Fox, like you said. And
that's exactly right.
Some information on that as well.
So we hope you make it to Longview, because we'll need you.
We need everybody.
We need every voice to do that. So,
absolutely.
I told you at the beginning, it is the best job in the world. So I just thank everybody who supported me. And, you know, starting year 43 as the superintendent, I wouldn't have laid money on it, but I guess I jokingly say, you know, if you hang around for 42 years, they're going to promote you.
Don't sell yourself short. I would have laid money on it, but you're I can't think of anybody more suited for this position. And gosh, all the years of experience that you have, and then on top of that, the city council thing, you got that too. So you are just a wonderful example of, you know, you work hard and, you know, to your students. And then also, I'm going to have to throw this out there for the females around here.
Well, there you go. There you go.
Congratulations.
And, you know, you always have to keep in mind, because I started out as a teacher, have had every single job in the district. I haven't been the custodian, but on some days you are. You just have to keep the kids in mind and come every day willing to do whatever it takes to make things a good experience.
It's paid off, so thanks for all you do.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to having you back again and checking in with you during the school year and seeing how that construction project's going. Who knows, you might have a hard hat on and be a construction foreman.
You might.
I don't know.
There is a community forum coming up in September, so if parents parents would like to come out and hear about some of the safety concerns that they may have. And I know one of the things we will discuss is the bond as well. So that will give parents, I think, in light of today's climate, at least a little bit of security to know that Lufkin ISD is dealing with safety. So we invite everybody to come out in September.
So important.
All
right. Thanks, Lynn.
Thank you.
The City of Lufkin is celebrating 28 years as a Tree City USA Award winner. Recently, Angelina Beautiful Clean and the Texas A&M Forest Service presented Lufkin Mayor Bob Brown and City Council with the award by the Arbor Day Foundation. Now, in order to be recognized as a Tree City, Lufkin had to make a commitment towards effective urban forest management by meeting 4 core requirements: an active tree board or department, a tree care ordinance, an annual community forestry budget, and an Arbor Day observance. More than 135 million people living in more than 3,400 towns and cities benefit from cleaner air, shade, lower energy cost, and stormwater control through the vital urban forest management framework provided by the Tree City USA Community Improvement Program. Studies indicate that as few as 3 additional trees planted around each building in the United States could save $2 billion annually in energy costs. The Arbor Day Foundation is a nonprofit environmental and educational organization of more than 1 million members with a mission to inspire people to plant, nurture, and celebrate trees. More information on the foundation can be found at arborday.org. Keep Texas Beautiful has recognized Angelina Beautiful Clean as a recipient of a 2017-2018 Green Bag Grant. HEB, Central Market, and Keep Texas Beautiful have partnered to create the Green Bag Grants program, giving 13 Texas communities a share of $25,000 to support plastic bag recycling and reduction, water conservation education, and programming pertaining to environmental education and/or waste management. 5 cents from every customer purchase of reusable green grocery bags at HEB stores is used to fund these grants, which range in size from $150 to $3,000. Angelina Beautiful Clean was one of only 13 recipients in the state to be awarded the grant. They will use the funds for educational materials to inform the community of the resources available in the area. Outreach will include information about the positive and negative impact to our natural environment, harmful substances in landfills, pollution caused by waste, and the reduction of being reliant on finite raw materials. For more information about Angelina Beautiful Clean programs, please call 936-632-5326 or visit them online at angelinabeautifulclean.org. I'd like to welcome Ken Vaughn. He is with the Piney Woods Community Academy to our show. Kind of new to Lufkin. You've been here since January, and things are starting to rock and roll out there at the PCA. So Tell me what's going on with the school.
Well, I've been there a little over a year, so we're going in my second full year there. So So it's an amazing thing that we're changing some of the things we did. We've changed our gifted and talented program. We're really fine tuning it, and we're adding a challenge lab for elementary kids. So that'll help to get those that may not be qualified as a gifted and talented, but give them some extra strengths in building some of their skills and things that they're interested in. Kind of an exciting program, what we're doing with that.
It's really exciting to see the progress of that school. I can remember many years ago when it was just like a handful of kids, it seemed like, and you're constantly seeing children who are excelling academically, and being recognized nationally for their achievements. So what's the secret?
There's not a secret. A big part of what we try to do is just make sure no one falls through the cracks. We want to make sure if they're struggling, we make sure they know what's happening with them. Get them to own their weaknesses so they can build them into strengths. With our college, what we're doing with them is we have mentors out there at the college. So if they get behind or if they seem to be struggling with their courses, we try to work with them. We've also tried to diagnose too, which ones are ready. You know, as a 9th grader, they may not be mentally ready or mature and ready. So we don't want it to be an adverse effect on their academic success in college later. So we want to make sure that they're right and they're ready to go to college. It's been an amazing program because we've been graduating, at least 50% of those graduate with a high school degree and a degree from Angelina College with an associate's.
That's just crazy.
It is amazing.
And parents have got to love that.
It is.
I mean, you're just think about what you save on college.
I'm not sure what the tuition is at A&M anymore, but I know that I've fed that system for a few students going through there, and it's quite high. But if you walk away with 2 years of college already under your belt, we had one young lady that graduated with her as a registered nurse, the youngest one in the state of Texas.
Wow.
They went through PCA and went through Angelo College, and she's now working on a degree at Stephen F. Austin.
That's wonderful.
It's amazing.
It's
really
great
is.
that students have that opportunity, and it's also a good thing that you have people in place that, like you said a few minutes ago, they're obviously not just real mature. I mean, they're high school students, but there are some who are mature. But you have that mentor in place who, otherwise when you send them off to a 4-year school, you're hoping and praying. I've been there, done that. That they're going to be mature and go to class and be disciplined and all that. So that's wonderful.
Well, remember too, when you send them off after they graduate from high school, they're 18 or 19. Mm-hmm. We're talking about kids that are 15, 14, going to college. Some of them are just not ready. So we want to make sure that they build the program and build it within themselves and build the confidence within themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, because it can be intimidating to walk into a college classroom.
And walk into a professor who's in their 50s, have been teaching this and got their PhD. Mm-hmm. And now you got a 15-year-old supposed to be asking them for help. It can be a little bit intimidating. Yeah. So having a model, a spokesman, who can go in with them and sit down and say, here's the situation with this child. Mm-hmm. Help us to get past what we need to get past. What do I need to tell him in high school student ease that you might say in college ease, it's not the same. Mm-hmm. But Dr. Michael Simon's been fabulous.
So it's great that we have a community college here that has such a strong impact and works so well with our school districts to make sure that all students excel.
Yeah, and they provide an opportunity. And their arrangement and their staff is very congenial to help kids. And you're talking about some babies that are there, so that helps. So when they grow up and they start to see this, and then they go off to a big school like Ole Miss, which we don't want to talk about, but Ole Miss, but A&M or Texas. Imagine walking onto a campus where there's 60 to 70,000 people, and they're supposed to try to figure their way around. This gives them that breaking point, so they can break through. Yeah. But PCA is where it is. I'll tell you, it is because of the school board. People that are not voted in, but are doing this for free, which all school boards do, but they care so much about the program and what they're trying to give back. And they're giving back a lot to Lufkin. So it's been amazing.
Let's talk about your staff.
Okay.
How do you attract and retain a talented staff?
I think the biggest thing is the culture. When you walk on that campus, it is different. When I walked into Tyler ISD, the high school, and you walk into the system there, when I taught in Lamar Consolidated, the culture is so different at PCA. When you walk in there and start talking to some of the other staff members, we've got our difficulties. We've got things that we overcome, but we constantly teach that there's nothing that you can't surmount. You can climb any hill you want to. The day is your day. You're going to make of the day what you make of the day. So even though you may not feel your best, it's your day. How are you going to make it? Mm-hmm. And I can make it a better day, or I can make it a great day.
Right.
And that's what we try to work with our kids every day.
And what is your student-staff ratio?
We're about 20 kids in the classroom is about our max. We do go over that in some classrooms if we have a need to, but we have a limit. The state has limited us to 1,500 students that we could enroll at one time. Oh. We don't have enough footprint to put 1,500 kids.
How many students do you have?
We have a little over 1,000.
Wow, but it has really grown.
It's amazing. And the programs, our basketball team did great last year. This year we're going to 3A, so it's going to be a little bit different environment there. We're looking forward to the competition, looking forward to the challenges that are coming there. But again, the culture, the climate on that campus, the administrators. You talk about Monica Gunter, who's been there forever. Right. Jennifer Shaw, who is there as the elementary principal. Marilyn Session, who's out at the college and liaison between the universities. You talk about those staff. Then you talk about our custodians that care enough to when a kid is lost, how can I help you? Mm-hmm. When our maintenance man stands in the hallway to help direct traffic, is all hands on deck, and everyone cares about kids.
And that's so important. And as you well know, when you're talking about a culture, it starts from the top down.
It does.
And you have to instill that, and you have to be a good example of that.
And being out and about. I think it's important to be around town. I think it's important that I'm out at the college. I've built a really good relationship with Dr. Simon. He owes me a golf game, but we haven't been able to collect on that yet. But we'll get together and we just talk. And we don't talk shop, we just talk. So we build relationships. And that's a big key, is building that relationship.
Okay, so school is starting this month.
It is coming up.
What is the big day?
14th.
Gosh, it's early this year.
It is, and as a charter, we can start school whenever we want, but you also have distinctions that can come in, and you have in ISDs you can also apply for, and I think LISD is also starting earlier, but it's a good thing to start. When you have time ahead of the tests that will be given, the STAR test and the end of course exams, it's better to have that time in front of it rather than dragging it out past all the tests. Now you've got a long May, used to go into June, and then you try to help those kids that have failed the test to get ready for to retest. And are you prepared? Are you really ready for that? Well, let's move the calendar up a little bit, and then you can start earlier. You can get all that material taught, and then you're ready to take the test. Better prepared.
Yeah, well, absolutely. So August the 14th, school starts. I'm sure everyone's getting their school clothes ready and their backpacks and getting ready to head out. And of course, you want to avoid, what is the street that runs beside?
South Rygay and Angelina.
That's right. You kind of want to avoid that.
I would.
Yeah, I've kind of caught up in that a couple of times.
It is, and it's a little bit difficult. And we try to keep on the opposite side where used to be the big industry that was there. Try to keep parents from stopping on that side. But sometimes it's difficult because we want to be safe. We'd rather them unload their students or offload their students right there on the side where the school is. So make the loop, takes you another minute or two, drop them off where they need to drop off so we can provide some measure of safety.
Some things, important things to remember. Ken, thank you for joining us
I'm
here
glad to
on
be here.
City Hall. Welcome to Lufkin. I mean, I don't know if it's welcome. You've already been here for a while. So
that's all right.
We're glad that you're here, and we're glad that you are leading the school out at PCA, and wishing you the best for a great school year.
We look forward to it. Thank you so much for having me.
All across Texas this summer, we've experienced temperatures well above average, including a few record-breaking highs. As a result, as much as 82% of Texas is experiencing drought-like conditions. Droughts are a fairly common part of Texas's history, notably the 7-year drought of the 1950s and the major drought beginning in 2010 and lasting through 2015. Drought is one of the most common and costly types of natural disasters in the United States. It can impact the economy, environment, and society by limiting water, impacting habitat, and triggering health and safety problems. In general, drought is considered a prolonged period of below normal precipitation. Scientists consider factors such as rainfall amounts, vegetation conditions, soil moisture, and reservoir levels when characterizing droughts. Weather patterns and demand on water supplies vary drastically across Texas. When dry conditions are prolonged, it can put a strain on all water issues. You can help by implementing practices that will reduce demand for water supplies before drought strikes, so dry conditions will be easier to bear. In fact, water conservation is an essential part of the state water plan, which addresses the needs of all water users in the event of a repeat of the record droughts of the 1950s. Billions of gallons of water are wasted each year due to inefficient landscape irrigation. Also, when planting your garden, pick native plants that tolerate drought well. Install water-efficient fixtures and be sure to fix leaky pipes. And turn off the water while brushing your teeth, showering, or shaving, and only run the dishwasher or laundry with full loads. One way to conserve water and reduce waste and save money is composting. Now is a great time to get your compost pile started. It takes 3 to 4 months for organic ingredients to break down and form compost. So starting now in the summer means you'll have a finished product ready in time to fertilize your yard this fall. In most parts of Texas, applying compost in the fall helps prepare plants for winter. Many of the items that typically go in the trash, like food scraps, paper products, and leaves, can be composted. Food scraps account for nearly 15% of household waste. In fact, fruits and vegetable peels can be composted instead of going in the trash. Leaves, grass clippings, and other yard debris make up 13% of the waste sent to landfills each year. And it costs Texans over $250 million a year to collect and dispose of that waste. Instead of throwing them out in the garbage, many yard materials can be useful. And compost can serve as a soil conditioner that nourishes your yard. It supplements or replaces chemical fertilizers, which reduces runoff that could harm waterways. Mixing compost into your lawn or garden also reduces the need for watering by up to 60%. Not only will you save money on your water bill, you'll also save time watering and fertilizing your lawn. Take Care of Texas is a statewide campaign that encourages all Texans to help keep our air and water clean, conserve water and energy, and reduce waste. To learn more, visit takecareoftexas.org.
One mentions persimmons, and my mind goes two places at once. First, I think about our native persimmons and the efforts that ranchers have tried to get rid of their pastures of them. Whatever you do, don't mow down a native persimmon that you're trying to get rid of. Doing that will only make the plant grow root sprouts, so what was 1 now has become 10. Secondly, my mind goes to the wonderful little tree that was in the backyard of the rent house, which my wife and I lived at while we worked just south of here in Woodville, Texas. It was a perfect little tree that produced several juicy, plump Oriental persimmons, which, if one was patient to wait on, would yield a delicious, non-astringent fruit. Now, astringent is the technical term for the puckering or the contraction of mouth tissue, which is typical of persimmons. While this is a prominent feature of the fruit, it will eventually go away for almost every variety if you simply let it go long enough. Persimmon trees are typically small, easy to grow, and adapted to most of Texas. The tree is an excellent candidate for organic gardening because its leaves and its fruits don't have any serious insect or disease problems. In the fall, when new fruit crops are ripe, the persimmon produces fruit that is attractive and is good to eat. The Texas persimmon is found in northern Mexico and central and west Texas. It is especially abundant in the Edwards Plateau area. The common American persimmon grows wild in our area. American persimmon groves are common in abandoned pastures and along fence rows. Unlike the cultivated persimmon, the wild persimmon varieties are small and very astringent until completely ripe. They're usually ripe after the first frost and after all the leaves have fallen off the tree, even though then some of the fruit can still be very astringent. The Oriental persimmon was introduced into the United States in the mid-1800s from its native China and Japan. It's been an important fruit crop in each of those countries for hundreds of years. Persimmons need little, if any, pruning. You can shape the trees to a desired shape and remove any crossing branches, broken branches, or any diseased branches that you find. They're not water hogs. They only need supplemental water during their first year after you plant them and if we're under a drought. They will benefit from some fertilizer, but too much and they'll drop its fruit. Again, they're very resistant to pests and probably won't need any help fighting diseases and insects. Mature trees can reach 40 feet in height. Some remain as shrubs, however, at less than 10 feet tall. The native persimmon beside our office on the South Loop is certainly a tall one, and the Oriental persimmon at our rental house in Woodville was shrub-like, barely reaching 10 foot tall. There are several Oriental varieties to try in your yard. Look for Eureka, Hachia, Tenashi, Tamapon, Fuyu, Izu, and Fankyo. Most Oriental persimmons are seedless except Eureka, and the fruit is harvested typically around our first frost. Most are astringent except Fuyu and Izu. If not left to fully ripen, they will certainly pucker your mouth. For the Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service, this is Kerry Sims.
Well, that's all for this edition of City Hall Update. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you will continue to watch for the latest news and information from Lufkin City Hall. I'm Yana Ogletree. Have a great day.